Hello, everybody. I think I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. Is my screen working? Yeah, my camera's working and everything. All right, there we go. I got to put that camera where I can see. Hold on a second. I'll be back. There. All right, there we are. I think that works. All right, let's see here. 5 minutes. Huh. Okay. Well, I stayed out of anything. Well, I shouldn't say I stayed out of anything. I didn't stay out of anything. I did take a little dick and dump this morning. I'll just show it to you quickly since we had the news at 9:45 or whatever. But, we had this is the MNQ, so I'm just, screwing around. But we had a crossover and we had a new low. Price came up. And then what happened is, see how this red candle, this box right here, it opened and it went down and then it rolled all the way back up. Well, when it rolled all the way back up, I put my sell order in. It dragged me right, slammed right down, dragged me in, and I put my target right at the bottom there. Just a quick little, just for fun. I mean, when it slams up after it goes through the bottom and it goes up quite a bit, if it slams back through, I find that those things just run, and that's exactly what it did. So, I mean, from the moment I got in to the moment I got out, it was, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds. Anyways, so we had news. We had news at 9:45, and we got some more at. Oh no, we just got people running their potholes at 10 o'clock. Okay. So I did a little research yesterday to try to figure out why the market kept melting its way up. Well, one of those Fed chairmans, whatever they call themselves, Atlanta Fed president is who's speaking today. So one of those Fed presidents, I think it was Stephen Moran. I don't know. It couldn't have been Stephen Moran. It must have been the guy before him. One of them came on yesterday and started talking about how he's advocating for rates to be decreased by 2%. I'm just like, oh my God. Apparently, none of them understand that the market is at the all-time high. None of them understand that unemployment is at an all-time low. I swear to God. These people kill me. They will completely continue to destroy this country. Just like Thomas Jefferson said. The Federal Reserve. Well, Thomas Jefferson told you guys, if you go back and read your history books, Thomas Jefferson told you that a centralized bank will destroy this country. And the funny part is Abraham Lincoln said that the greatest threat to the United States is not outside the United States, but internally. And both of them are correct. So anyways, I'm going to see if we can kind of get into some rotation. If you'll notice, I mean, the YM just took off today. When the market opened, I mean, the YM just took off. I mean, straight up. And before then, it hadn't done anything. So here we are in a run to the long side in the YM, and the RTY has done the same thing. But like we had this 1 minute gold line here, but I mean, it was right at the news at 9:45. So I can't do that. No, they will not stop. They will not stop until we're like Zimbabwe, where we got dollar bills that really say 1 million on them, and you can buy a pack of bubble gum with them. Let's see here. What do we got? So gold is, obviously you guys know I've been trying to focus on gold as much as possible. And gold, let's just kind of take a quick look. Gold at like 4 a.m. just ran right up. I mean, it's up in the 3,800 range now because of the stuff I'm talking about. By the way, there's a reason gold is up here. But then once it just did this big breakout, it, again, did the sideways stuff. So I'm hoping that gold can start coming out of this box. This is a pretty good sign right here that it's coming out of the box. I hate to take now. Again, I talk about don't be biased, trade the charts. But I cannot come up with a viable reason to take gold short at all today. I just can't. You got to remember, even behind all this are the slower, longer term moving averages that roll their ways up, and as this thing's rolling down, it's going to keep hitting them. I mean, because there's only one direction in gold for the last so many months, and that direction is up. And it's up quite a bit today. So I don't know if I'm going to see a gold trade at all today, because for me to get a gold trade now, since all the lines are out of play, since all the lines are out of discussion, because this is the high, prior day high. By the way, see that right here, crossover, retest. Where did it retest? Off the prior day high at 3:14 in the morning. There you go. But anyways, I mean, if you ever want to know, are the lines real? There you go. Anyways, this is just a big long run up. But I don't think it's going to find legs to go further along today. So I expect it to kind of just have a slow, maybe melt down a little bit later in the afternoon. But that's it. So I'm pretty much going to just keep my eyes away from gold. Because I don't see how we're going to get anything there. So what do we got otherwise? Well, we got the same problem right now with the YM. The YM is way over its prior day high. The RTY is way over its prior day high. So the only two that are even around their lines is the ES and the MNQ, or the NQ, either one of them. And yeah. So I'll probably be looking at them as for potential trades. So like, here's the ES. It may start come on, hopefully it'll come and try to do what the YM is doing. Therefore, but hopefully it'll give us an opportunity by crossing over, hitting the high, the daily high, and then going long. If you'll notice, after the open and the news, the prior day close and the overnight open held. Well, what's wrong with the ES right now is it's stuck between the prior day close and the prior day high. So to go long, it doesn't have much room. It closed near the high yesterday, so it's stuck. And it doesn't want to go short. I mean, it sure doesn't want to go short. Man. This might be a good day for those of you after a little bit, because we got some more news at 10 o'clock. But this might be a good day for those of you that are, working your way on an eval or a PA for funding. Today might be a wonderful day to implement that strategy I was talking about specifically in the YM and the RTY, where you start looking for that rotation up through those daily highs, strong, smooth pullback into that 9 EMA, and then take that break long back to that daily high. And again, I can't stress enough, that's exactly what I did to earn my first payout, plus to also go 30 some days in a row with profit trading. I did like 5-6 of those a day, every day. And I'd make, and and then I told Apex, wire me $2,000. And they did. And they did. And that was the birth of this channel, was exactly that approach. And I started this channel because I didn't have the discipline to just sit there and do that. Because it takes a lot of discipline to just sit here and wait for that rotation and then take as long and then maybe get $150 and then close it out because it's gonna run into resistance and roll back against you or whatever. It takes a lot of discipline to do that as I'm sitting here ordering and ordering houses that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars a month and stuff like that. It takes a lot of discipline to sit here and trade for $150 trade and make it feel important. What was important at the end of the day was just to show the discipline to do it. I saw a quote, I think it was yesterday, that said, a good trader doesn't fear losing money. A good trader fears losing discipline. Think about that. That is true. That is so true. When it comes to me, it's just to lose the discipline that it takes to be consistent and successful. Because I can easily fly off the handle because the money doesn't seem that big to me. Which one of the ways I combat that, and I've talked about that, is I look for in my world. Then I'm just looking for bigger trades. And so like say this little pull down rotation, I don't care about it, in the YM. I just because the intent would be to go from here to here. Well, that's not worth it to me. Yeah, the overnight sessions were very tight, and as of right now, the ES is the one staying in that overnight range. The RTY and the YM have busted out of their overnight ranges, and ironically, the NQ has too, but to the opposite direction. Jesus. So, and look at that. Look at the YM did. It went right back to that pivot that I talked about right there and then rotated back. I mean, stuff is so predictable. So anyways, we had a little bit of news at 10, which I don't think was going to really do anything, which it didn't. But anyways, that's the rotation I was talking about, where you can work your way into some profitable low risk trades following the back of the candles off of rotations with a smooth pullback into your 9 EMA back up. But and when I was doing this scenario I'm talking about right here, probably half my trades were break even because I was, again, managing from the trade from the bottom up, say on a long. And as soon as I felt that urge from a push to go to break even, I did. I wish this market would start breathing. I don't trade the 45 EMA. I just have it on my chart to recognize it as a potential resistance and or support area, depending on which side of the price I'm at. So like if I'm taking a long and the 45 is above me and I run into it, I just recognize that I should see resistance there. That's why I have it sitting on my chart. It's just a reference point so I can recognize this is where I'm going to potentially see resistance. We should work our way through it depending on this setup, whatever. But I'm not trading it. Wow. Man, I wouldn't mind the YM or the RTY rolling down to my 5-minute red line right now. I wouldn't mind that at all. Especially my YM. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Right to here and then a rotation back up into here. That would be beautiful. I've had a busy morning. I've quoted 3 quotes for builds this morning. I've ordered building permits for one house that I'm trying to order and build. And then I ordered a factory quote for another house today. That's a busy morning before I even started trading. That's a very busy morning. Activity breeds activity. I need activity because things sure got slow for a while. I build, yeah, I am. I am a contractor. I build modular homes. Crane set modulars, the big ones you got to lift up, put on foundations and stuff like that. I build them throughout the whole state of North Carolina and South Carolina. I used to build them in Virginia, but I don't do that anymore. I haven't talked about oil because I don't have any range. There's no sense in talking about something that's not moving. I mean, here's oil. Well, this is the wrong contract. Let me find the other one. Well, that is the contract they got on here. What's the, where's the contract? That's the contract they have on here. But here's the funny part. I just pulled this one over and the price is $62. Oil has been $62 for how many months? If I don't get any range out of it, I can see rotations, but I'm not making any money. It's not like the ranges that I'm getting, for example, in gold right now. See this rotation right here? This rotation in gold, right from here back to here. If it had been smooth and I had confidence in the market going short, that's $900. This one right here that just happened. From here to there, that's $900. Same ticks as gold, as oil. The problem is oil doesn't have any rotations like that anymore. Not right now. That was $900, that rotation. So if I see a smooth pullback and especially to the long side in gold today, but if I see a Donchian Channel high and a smooth pullback to the 5-minute red line to the long side, I mean, I'm going to be all over that like white on rice. And I'm looking for, $500, $600, $800 out of it. I could sit there and stare at oil all day. And if I pick the high amazingly and take it to the low, I might get $800. $970, huh, Jim? There you go. Jim took that one. $970 on that. I did the number quickly in my head, buddy. I'm not that. I knew it was $900. That rotation was $900 in gold. Yeah, it had a swing to it there in gold. It did. It had a swing to it. I'm biased against the short side in gold personally. I'm glad it worked for Jim, but I'm biased against it right now. I mean, we are just too far up today. We are just too far up today for me to be looking for that. But I would really like to see, now that we've got this pivot right here established. Okay, so let's just talk about gold here for a second. So since we have this pivot here established in gold, I would love to see this thing cross over the red line, break that pivot, rotate out, and sit on the top of it, and then I'd be taking it back to here. That's my potential play in gold today, right now, that I'm looking for. He uses bigger stops because he's making a lot more money than all of us, Dominic. Jim's playing with big money right now. He's making big money. If you look at the entry candle in gold, like if you look at the entry candle in gold, this is it. That's a nice consolidation candle. That's 16.9. That's 15.6. 20 ticks puts you right here. So he's looking at a 20 tick stop and probably at least a 40 tick target. So it never got to his stop. Mine loads as a 2040 also. That's how I load mine. My trade on golds loads as 20 target, 20 stop, 40 target. Then I grab the target and I move it. Yeah. I'm assuming he's using 2040 like me. But then once you had that rotation, you got, he knows that once you have that rotation, meaning it starts coming down, then this is the target right here. So you grab the 40 and you pull it down to here. And then bam, that's exactly what it went right to the freaking target and then rotated back up. I mean, and that's not by accident. That is not by accident. All right, so hopefully right now in the YM, of course, we did have a crossover in the YM and a pull down the gold to the 9 EMA. I wasn't looking at it. Right here, we did. Yeah, that was a potential there. But anyways, because you created a new high. I used, 20 to 40 to get me on the chart. And then I manage from there. Exactly. On my gold, I do that. I'll be right back. The biggest lesson to get out of this trade, Dominic, in my opinion, the biggest lesson to get out of this trade is that even though it's a 2040 in, is to have the confidence to recognize that that's because you're doing a 2-to-1, but the real trade is here. And so go get the money that the trade gives you. That's the real thing to gather from that trade. And that's it. That's because you're not concerned with a $200 stop loss when the things rotate and you get $900 to $1,000 on the win versus just the $400 that my ATM throws out there. Does that make any sense? The RTY. What's going on with RTY? Well, the RTY and the YM are literally doing the same thing right now. Man, I wish that RTY would roll down to the 5-minute red line. See this big pivot right here? See this big pivot right here? We're already north of it. Be a good spot to go down to. And that's one of the things. That's why I trade my charts. This is just, again, while we're having conversation here, I trade my charts without dollars. If you guys ever watch when I'm in a trade, very rarely do I throw the dollars on there. I'll throw the dollars on there on an MNQ because the dollars are so small. I don't even know if it's worth closing the trade out. But when I'm trading my regular stuff like GC or RTY or whatever, I don't put dollars on my chart because I don't want to see the dollars. Because it's a mental thing. If I see the dollars, oh, that's $500. Oh God, let me just take it out. Even though I know, that the pattern is telling me we're going here. If it's screaming down and I see $400 or $500, I get squirrely. I'm just telling you. So I don't have my P&L on my chart tell me the profit, the dollar amount. I just have it tell me ticks and or points, you know. It's again, I kind of like I said about the quote. It's you know, it's the mental side of trading that is without a doubt my biggest struggle. It's not seeing the patterns. It's just mentally being able to take the trades and handle them. That stupid gold is going to, that stupid gold gold is just going to piss me off today, isn't it? Sure is. Gold is just going to piss me off today. A 1 minute gold line rotation down. I mean, I wouldn't have had the stomach for that, but boy, ES is still in its range. It ticked out the top of its overnight range by, looks like about 2 ticks, 3 ticks, and then it rolled back into its range. I mean, ES just has absolutely no price action today. You gold. Gold is just going to piss me off today, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Shit. Well, that's all right. You know, I tell people it doesn't, I don't get upset. No problem there, Jim. See, Jim got another $750. I tell people that I don't get upset when I miss a trade anymore. I'm just excited that I recognize the trades, because, you know, when the mental side goes away, that I may be struggling at certain times or whatever, I already have the talent to recognize the trades, and that's more important. Some people, they don't even recognize that they should have mental side problems, and nor can they ever recognize a good trade. And so that's a double whammy. That's a person that needs to stay at a prop firm for a long time, because, you know, it's so much easier to lose $30 on an account than it is $3,000 when you trade it and your account blows up. Jim will tell you that's how he and I met, was in the prop firm world in trading, and he used to use Apex, I'm pretty sure it was, and you know, he graduated out of that, and now he just trades live money, live accounts. And I gravitated that way too, but I got to continue to build my confidence up better than I have right now. Somebody said to me, Bob, you just need to change your goal from $1,000 a week to $2,000 a week. And I said, well, you know, that's probably true, but I'd rather do $2,000 a week while my target is 1,000, so that I have to make it 2, because it doesn't make sense to stay at 1. Meaning I want to do it in reverse. I want to do it because it just becomes that easy to make the $2,000. That's like, okay, now it's $2,000. And keep in mind, again, some of you may say, well, Bob, you're not taking any trades. How are you going to make $2,000? Because this right here, rotating to here and then back up to there, that's going to be like $800. Avalon. That's exactly what I'm saying. What you just put up there. I'm sorry, I didn't see that comment. Avalon. That's exactly what I was saying. Is when I first passed my first prop firm PA, not my first prop firm eval, but my first prop firm PA, and got paid. That's all I did. That is all I did. And I did it. I was fortunate because we had trending markets at that time. But I had like 30 some days in a row that I was profitable. And I would do about 4 to 6 trades a day, somewhere in that range. And I was taking the rotations back to the daily, to the high, or, wherever the pivot came from, like this rotation here, crossover, back down, and then back up to here, right here in the YM, like that rotation with the long here to there. I was just taking those things and basically almost like scalping the market, get maybe $100, $150 on the trade. And and probably half the trades I took, I had break even because I was throwing my stop into break even as soon as price kind of took off, doing it too early, to be fair. But I just didn't want to be in the negative, and I wanted to either have it run and hit my target or not. And then, and when I did that, it took a lot of discipline to do that. But I did it in slow markets. I didn't do it when the market was running. I did it in slow markets because the 9 EMA will kind of keep pushing price in a trending market. And that's how I got my first payout, was exactly that. I didn't trade any overnight opens. I didn't trade any red lines. I didn't do any of that. Which instrument the best? Wow. Well, right now, over time, I would say the RTY. My experience, which one does it work the best? Over time, I would say the RTY. Currently, and Jim will jump in and chime on this, it's gold. Currently, it's gold. But over time, it's the RTY. That's the best instrument for my strategy. But currently, it is gold. Gold is just, gold is obviously being highly manipulated because it's up in the stratosphere. Gotcha. I got you, Orville. Well, you go back and you look at my original videos when I first started this channel. You'll see that I was, gold. Yeah, there's gold in them there hills. Jim will tell you. Gold has just been on fire for this strategy for probably like the last, 5-6 months. It's just been on fire, man. At least the last 5-6 months. Or if you go back and look at my original videos that I started this channel with, I was doing that kind of level of stuff when the market was trending, and I was doing it in the ES only. I was just trading the ES, waiting for that rotation, through because we had trending markets back in those days. And I was just waiting for it to push its way across the gold line create a new daily high, rotate back into the gold line, and then boom, take it right back up. And I was getting, anywhere from $50 to $150 a trade. And like I said, I do like 4 to 6 of them, half of them be break evens, and then, did I have some losses? Yeah, but I kept the losses as small as I could. You know what I'm saying? You get the idea. But, and I would wait until we got past 10 o'clock, just had to wait until the market just kind of got rhythmic. And that's how I did it. Shit. I'm still learning, David. I'm still learning. Pretty soon, Jim's going to be teaching me. The problem with the NQ, Jim, is you got to have a heart of a lion. Man, you got to have a heart of a lion to trade the NQ. Literally a heart of a lion. God dang. What I like to do with the NQ is exactly what I did this morning with it. Is I like to see it break in the direction of my anticipated trade, roll back up against those who took the break, and then when it takes the second break, I love that's what's so great about Trade Saver is I can push that button and it'll drop that order in there after it's already rolled up, and then when it comes back, that's exactly what I did today. It's exactly what I did today for the only trade I've taken. Hey, Jill. It's because one of the things the NQ is very good at, I mean, it's very highly manipulated, is to take a break and then roll back up. It'll defend the candle. I mean, the candle to its left top will be defended, but I mean, that's a lot of times that's a lot of skin in it. And what'll happen is when it comes back through that second time, it's like, ping! And that's the trade I took this morning right here. And the markers are gone. But anyways, here was your 1 minute gold line. Oh, wait, hold on here. Let me pull this down. I'm so stupid. I forget you guys can't see all my charts. But, I said this is a red. Here's your 1 minute gold line rotated up. And then, here was this candle obviously closed at the bottom. That's why it's big and red. And when it broke down through the bottom to probably about here. Okay. And then it rotated all the way back up in here. And as soon as it rotated up in here, I just put the sell order on, which puts my order still at the bottom of this candle here. And I mean, it slammed straight through. Down it went. Boom, there's my money. And I'm done. I mean, it's just that simple. But what you got to do is, for me, with the NQ, I like to trade inside the candle. If I'm making sense by doing that, I'm trading inside the candle. Here's a rotate. Oh, well, the ES just did a crossover. Just did a crossover retest, and it's a Donchian low. So this should roll down. This should roll down here. I just happen to see it because I'm too busy. I'm focused on this right over here. I want something to come down to those red lines. Man, we had such a beautiful red line last Thursday. And I mean, and I was talking about it and defining it and all that stuff yesterday. I think it was Thursday. I think it was in gold. And I mean, it was just beautiful. And it did exactly everything. Right now, this YM is looking pretty good. This YM is looking pretty stout as a potential 5 minute red line trade. Come on, YM, keep going. By the way, somebody asked me about the 45 EMA earlier. See, this just allows me to see why it got hesitant here, rolled up, came back down, and why it stopped here and rolled back down. I mean, I can, because it was that 45 EMA, but I'm not trading that event. Well, the number one thing, Orville, for me was the willingness to accept that I could be wrong. I'm going to tell you something. That was the biggest thing I struggled with. Being math minded like I am, because obviously I can't read. What I struggled with, because you grow up doing math, 2 + 2 is always 4. So this Donchian Channel high, daily high, rotation back to the red line, that means we're going back to here. In my mind, I had to be right. And I wasn't willing to accept that I'm not, just because this pattern is setting up exactly correct to what I talk about, doesn't mean I'm going to be right. Okay, so James, I'll fix that. I'll answer that in a second. I'm always protecting profits with trailing stops and only getting a small fraction of what the charts are giving. Well, yeah, okay. So one of the things I've started doing, Orville, to kind of help you on that, is if, like, say I'm taking a red line, or say I'm taking an overnight open or something like that, is I let price fight the 9 EMA. Let's say I'm taking a long. I let price fight that 9 EMA above me. It's because I expect that. I anticipate that battle. But I also know statistically that 5-minute red line is a stronger line, or that overnight open is a stronger line than that 9 EMA. So I let that battle happen. Once price goes through that 9 EMA, creates space, and then sits on top of it, that's when I start letting my stop follow the pivots, because I want now I'm going to let the 9 EMA be my friend. So, like, for example, on this RTY, let's just say we had taken a short here. Once we get inside that 9 EMA, I let the 9 EMA, like we had this rotation down, back up, I let the 9 EMA be my thing. So when we pivoted down here, here's where my stop is. When we pivoted down here, here's where my stop is. If I'm making sense. So when I have break evens or whatnot, it's 9 times out of 10, it's because price didn't force its way through that 9 EMA yet. When I have profits that are like, say, $180, it's not because my target was 180, but it was because the stop I had on this pivot didn't hold, and then price rotated back against me. So I have two approaches to it. One is how do I manage it? One is how do I manage it when I'm in that battle? And then second is, then I give it room when I have the 9 EMA on my side. And that's when I start following pivots. Yeah, ES worked out. They sure did. And it's heading down to that low. Yeah, the ES worked out. Definitely did. Definitely. That was a pretty good rotation. Come on, YM. Come on. You can be my friend today. You can be my friend today. Yeah, the chart's been flat. The ES just doesn't have any. It doesn't have two reasons why I wouldn't have taken it. One is that, yes, it's flat. And two, I don't like when price, I talk about this. I don't like when price hangs around the overnight open. I don't mind when price goes to the overnight open. I don't like when price tends to just stay in that area, because then it doesn't seem to have a direction. So I get very, very conservative on that stuff. Come on, YM. No, I don't. No, I don't. Yeah, the YM is already there, though. And the YM is the bigger dog than the RTY. The YM is the bigger dog. It's got more mustard behind it, more money behind it. Come on, YM, go down a little bit more. I don't want you to just touch it. Here, let me blow this up. Let me blow this up so I can see this better. What's going on here? All right, come on. There we go. That's good. That's good. That was good. That was very good. Now, I wanted to do one of two things. Either just directly keep going through and go back to the prior day high, or hold right here and then give us a potential to go long. One or the other. Looks like it's going to do the long, possibly. There we go. I'm in. Now go up. Go up. I'm going to put my stop below that pivot. We've had a lot of red candles in a row, so hopefully we can get some green candles here. Come on. Really? Wow. Just nothing. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Oh my God, we're inside the red line. That's not good. Come on, that's not good. Come on, this candle's got to hold right here. This one right here has to hold. This one right here has to hold. Come on, you have to hold. Come on. There you go. There you go. All right. Now let's go. Jesus. Okay, let's go up and inside the 9. Up and inside the 9. Let's go. Let's go up and inside the 9. Well, we found the rotation point, guys. The question is it going to have enough leg to get us anywhere? Up and inside the 9. Come on. Come on. There you go. Let's go. Let's go. Go up. Oh, my God. Come on. Come on. Quit squeezing out the stops and let's go long. There you go. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. What? Wow. What's pissing me off is the ES took off to the long side, and this thing is just sitting here. Come on. Why did the ES take off and you didn't? Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Come on. I mean, the ES just screamed up. So did the MNQ, but we're just sitting here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, my God. Come on. Come on. All right, there we go. That's the problem with the 5-minute red line is you got to give the damn thing room. Because you're trading a 1-minute candle on a 5-minute moving average. It's just, it can get scary at times. Trust me, I know. But what was helping me, not that I'm getting anywhere, what was helping me was I was looking at the ES running up and the MNQ running up. It's like, what the hell? Come on. You're not convincing me much here. You're not convincing me much here. Come on. Shit. Anybody see me? Does anybody see me? Okay, so you see me? Jesus. All right. I mean, I lost my power and everything, man. I lost everything. So I had to grab my phone and close myself out of that trade. I'm up $300. Damn it. And this is the rotation. This is, God dang it. Man, this is the big trade. God damn it. My fucking power went out. Jesus. The whole neighborhood, everything just blacked out. This is the trade. This is exactly, where is Orville? Orville. This is what I'm talking about. So you have that rotation, and once it sits on top, this is where you put your stop. Fuck! This was the trade that I sat here all morning for. I had to close it out. I had to grab my phone and close it out because my charts and everything were gone. Fuck! That was the trade right there. That was it. This is the trade. This is the trade right here that I sat here all morning for. And then once it got up above this 9 EMA, let it rotate and then put your stop here and then just keep following it. Yeah, I had it on my phone. I got it on my phone, and I've got it on my second computer in case it's a ninja situation. But when the power went out, I lost everything. So I had to use my phone. Anyways, so, God dang it. So $300, $286. Fuck. But anyways, this trade right here, because it's a 5-minute red line, this is a perfect example. You crossed over, you got on top of the 9 EMA. You should have your stop here. Once this got broken, this candle right here got broken to the long side, just keep your stop here and keep looking for a bigger rotation. God damn it. I sat here all morning for that trade. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I'll be right back. It scared the piss out of me. I got to go piss now. Oh, shit. Look at that. Oh, my God. Just look at that. So the next place that it should probably run into a little bit of headwind is right here on the rotation up in case anybody is still in it. Fuck. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. It's probably about, I don't know, 2 years ago when I was still trading prop firm money. What just happened to me where the power would everything just go poof, blank, would happen like, I don't know, once every like 3-4 days. And finally, my wife calls the power company, like, what the hell is going on? Well, turns out that they have those big, huge transformers and stuff. They had a nest full of snakes that kept crossing the lines as they were swirling around out of their nest. They had a nest full of snakes, and it would short out the lines, and poof, everything would go off. And what just happened to me is flashbacks of that exact event. This is just beautiful. This is this would hopefully, if you're in it, would be a nice slow melt up. And if it gets past this point right here, it should pick up pace. Unbelievable. Well, guys, I found the right trade. I found the right trade. But snakes will do it, man. Look at that. Look at this. This is just absolutely beautiful slow melt up. That's what you should expect from this trade. You should expect a nice slow melt up back to your target, and you should be using your 9, just like your 9 carried it down here. You should be using your 9 to carry it back up. You still in it, Jeff? Perfect. I'm glad somebody is. I had to close the trade out. Because I couldn't see it. All I had was my Ninja account on my phone. I couldn't see. I could see I was in profit. It was telling me that, but I couldn't see the trade. So I just had to close it out. God dang it. God dang it. What a pisser. Now it's got my fish tank all screwed up too. I'm going to have to, I can hear it. It's gurgling my fish tank. It's making noise because now its water's out of balance from the power going on and coming on and going off and coming on. Anyways, man, Jesus. I will admit, man, I'm telling you, this rotation out of here was pretty ugly. But once it did rotate out of there, it's done well so far. Did it stop where I said? Yep, it did. To the tick. Right there, to the tick. That's where I would have expected it to slow down, and then hopefully, get a nice pullback here and then a rotation back through this. If it gets through this part right here, it should have better pace to the long side. Shit. God dang it. God dang it. Jesus. 2 days I've sat here and waited for this trade. And then that happened. Man, come on. Now, if you're taking this thing, if you're trading this thing to the long side, I know it takes a lot of stomach, but here's where your stop is. It's actually down here because you've had no rotation up here. And you're just looking for that 9 to hold. And when this candle closes and this candle right here, if it does, gets broken to the long side, then, you know, you got your stop below whatever candle that is. Man, this is getting ugly. Wow. Wow. This is probably about where I got out, was right in here somewhere. Yep. See you, David. Wow. I got to get my bearings. I don't even have my charts up right. I mean, sorry, I don't, Jesus. I don't even know what's going on. That was just, God dang, that was ugly. And here's what's going on with the RTY. Wow, it's right up at the highs. It's right up at the highs of the day. Right up at the highs of the day. Man, my fish tank is making tons of noise. My filter doesn't have water in it. It lost its water. When it does this, when the power flips out like that, the water drains out of it. So it's running dry. Give me a second. Give me a second. Well. Jesus. Sorry about that. Well, dang. Looks like the YM gave up its line. Yeah, it did. Well, the next thing I'd be looking for is this. If the YM would rotate down to the prior day high and give a long, that'd be nice. The ES is still, God dang, still in its range. The NQ looks like garbage. And that fish tank is driving me crazy. I hope none of you guys hear that fish tank in the background. It's making a ton of noise. Man, what a pain. Well, yeah, it's a directional line, Orville. The thing is if you get on the right side of a direction, that's where you can make the bigger money. Now, if I'm sitting there if I'm trading a prop firm, I mean, I'm not looking necessarily for that because, you you can't make too much money or you're a bad person with a prop firm. And B, you can't stomach a big swing and then a rotation back because of your trailing stops. But I prefer the 5-minute red line when I'm trading real money, just like Jim with his $900 gold. Sorry, Jim, I shortchanged you. Just like Jim on his $970 red line trading gold today. Now, at a prop firm, if you have a $970 trade, you're probably breaking some kind of rule. All right, Jeff, good job. I'm probably going to have to get out of here too. I'm probably going to have to get out of here too. Well, I know I do. I've got work to do. Shoot, I'm busy. Looks like my fish tank finally worked itself out. I usually got to hand prime it to get it started again, but it sounds like it's okay. Well, and the other thing about the 5-minute red line, Orville, and I talk about this, again, it's just like let's go back to the one we did take here, or the one I took. I mean, while you're going through all this battle right here in the YM, which this was obviously a fist fight, it's the 5-minute the 5-minute trader that's trading off of a 21 SMA for a 5-minute line. He's not seeing this battle. Instead, he's waiting because of the timing of these candles. He's waiting for this zone to be broken. And if you'll notice, that's where it started going. Because he's looking at the formulation of a whole 5-minute candle, which that happened right in here with this one. And then this one kind of went up to the top, came down. And this was that second candle. This was the break of this formatted 5-minute candle. So he doesn't see all that garbage. But at the same time, I'm not taking a trade way up here with my stop down here. That's the reason I use that 5-minute red line and trade a 1-minute candle. Is I'm trying to get in the trade early, but I got to recognize when I'm doing that, just like Jim here with gold, you got to recognize you're trading a 5-minute instrument with a 1-minute candle. So there's a battle going on in here before it actually gets broken. And then when that candle gets broken, bam, down goes Frazier. And if you guys, some of you may know, when I didn't have so many charts open with so many instruments, like if I was only trading gold, if I was only trading oil or whatnot, what I used to do is I used to have a 5-minute candle on one chart with that 21 SMA, and I would have the 1-minute chart to the right, and I would just sit there and stare at both of them so I could see what was going on in the internals, and I could see what was going on for a 5-minute trader. The problem is when I do that, then I can't really see more instruments. And so I like if I did it with ES, then I'd just be sitting here looking at a chart that's not moving today, if that makes sense. So I'd rather expand my charts so that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instruments, for example, in front of me now, and not see the 5-minute candle for just that trade. Yeah, SMA. Yeah, 105. Yeah. So I would rather see more instruments than to have to rely on seeing that 5-minute candle. What would be really cool, and I should find somebody that can do this. Oh man, what would be really cool? Guys, think about this. And if there's a coder out there, listen to what I'm saying. What would be really cool is if we could see a 5-minute box being formed on our 1-minute chart, because then you could actually see it on your chart. Like, when did that 5-minute candle start? When does that 5-minute candle end? When does a new 5-minute candle start? When is new? So if it just kind of highlighted the high low of the formation of that 5-minute candle, we could see the internals and the externals. Because what you'll notice is it's when that 5-minute candle that has been formed to your left gets broken. That's when price takes off a lot of times on those 5-minute red lines. but I can't see those on a 1 minute chart. I have to kind of look at the time and see, oh, did a 5 minute just close? Oh yeah, I think there's a 5 minute to my left. You got to kind of stare at the time to figure it out. But that's, you know, yeah, 5 minute 21 SMA, which is a 105 on a 1 minute candle. But again, it's all it's giving you is the moving average. It's not giving you the 5 minute formatted candle. So you're just seeing the internals of what's going on at that line. And if you watch that line over and over again, you'll see how it does that stuff. Like, for example, like here, you know, price went inside, rotated up to it, now rolling over. It's a direction line, in my opinion. It helps determine the direction that the market's going to go, long or short. Perfect is, I mean, look at the NQ right here. Bam. Price ran right up to it, slammed it back down. I mean, it's a direction line. It tells you the direction of the market. Not the overall market direction, because, you know, that you could be on the top side of a 5 minute red line, but the market's down that day. You know what I mean? So it's the internals throughout the day. Yes, you can do that. And then you just load second data series. So if I load a second data series, am I looking at am I creating two candles at the same time, or Ninja Scalp? I don't. And by the way, Orville, that's what I'm asking. That what you just said is kind of what I'm saying. It would help on those trades for you to see that. That way, when all this BS is going on, you'll understand, well, we didn't just stick our head through the top of the candle to our left and then start rotating over. Because if that happens, then you want to get out of the deal. You know what I mean? Versus holding on and letting them still fight their way through the top of that candle to the left, if I'm making sense. That's what I'm asking, FX Giant. I don't know. Ninja Scalp says we can. You can. Ninja Scalp, do me a favor. Just kind of throw it together if you can for a second, and then email me a screenshot or something of what you get, so I can kind of see. Kind of see what it looks like, and maybe it's something we can just try to figure out how to teach everybody. That's my email address. Just makes it a lot easier than having to have a 5 minute chart on you. Now, again, I go back to this. That trade is for people that can stomach, like Jim, who took the 5 minute red line in gold. People who can stomach a $200 loss or so, because you're looking for that, in his case, $970 win. You got to be able to stomach a loss on that trade to take it, because you got to give it room. You got to let it work. And by the way, the RTY is holding. And, and it did come off a broken pivot. There it goes. I mean, the RTY is doing a nice job on the red line. That's the first time it's touched that red line. Well, I guess it did. Hold on here. Let me look here. God dang it. I guess no, it crossed from here. Here's the cross. So since it's crossed, that's the first time it's hit that red line. The issue is obviously it's coming from here versus here. Now, gold is finally, all right, let's just talk about this while we're here. Jesus. Maybe gold will finally start doing something. Gold is finally broken through that red line on an up day. So maybe, and we just had a Donchian Channel piercing here. So maybe some kind of rotation will come off of this. I would like to see it come back in here to the 9 and the red line at the same time, and then take a long. Okay, Mark. Every time I think that fish tank is fixed, it's got to be full of air because it just keeps gurgling in the background. I hope you guys don't hear that damn thing. Mm. What a pain in the ass. Oh. All right. Sorry. Jesus. Sorry, I kind of went to sleep there. I'm trying to catch up on some things here. So we had a little crossover in the NQ here that I'll just show quickly. It crossed over the red line. Okay, but we're down today, so I'm not looking for that. I talk about this. We're not far from the overnight open, but I look for that rotation from, say, the other side of the red line back to the overnight open. I look for that rotation after 1 o'clock. So if you get a rotation back inside the red line and then a crossover and a sit on, and then boom, that's when you're looking for that swing trade. It's too early in the day for that when you're already in the down market. You're in the down NQ market. You're not in the down market for the others. Well, gold, what are you doing? Yep. Gold is not doing me any good. Looks like the YM has gone to sleep. RTY is still battling at the red line. It's still trying to go long. I mean, it has not given it up yet. And that's where, like, maybe a 5-minute indicator might show you a little better what's going on that situation, for example, on an RTY. Man, what is going on? No problem, Mike. Sometimes my lips are real easy to read. I'm Irish. We have one word that we say very often, and it has many meanings. And it's very easy to read on your lips. And it was the word I was yelling when my power went out. Oh, man. Well, we're at 11:20 and kind of slowed down. So I think I'm going to shut the stream down for now. And then I don't have anything scheduled for tomorrow, so I should be on live stream tomorrow, which would be good. Remember, those of you watching charts and whatnot, I lost the screen for it. I think Powell is running his pie hole at 12:30, and keep in mind, anytime his lips are moving, the market can just do some stupid stuff, so probably just as well not to be in any trades when he's telling his fairy tales. I think it was I lost all my screens and everything. I think it was at 12:30. Here it is. 12:35. He's going to be talking to somebody. All right. So I would highly recommend you don't do anything stupid when he's talking. And that's about it. All right. Well, we had fun. I mean, I made some money, but not the money I was trying to make. I made some money. Jim made a lot of money. Not that doesn't surprise me. Everybody have a good day. I will talk to you hopefully tomorrow, and see you later.